Welcome, everybody, to He Said, She Said, the podcast where disagreement is harmony, actually.
Absolutely.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Nicole. Hi, everybody.
And we are actually, this is my home studio that we're watching here. And this is your sick bed living room.
My sick bed living room. But I made it. And I'm super excited to do this tonight.
Well, tell us what's going on. Are you okay? What's up?
I'm okay. So my oldest son, Gianni, started throwing up on, I think it was Sunday. And it's just been misery since Sunday. But I have not thrown up yet today. Knock on wood. Hopefully I don't do it on this podcast. That would be terrible. And I'm feeling a little better. So.
Well, that's good. You look a little flushed, but
I look like crap. I warned you. I said, don't judge me if I log into this podcast. I'm just letting it out there.
No judgment. I'm not making any judgments. No judgment free. Scott is saying hello to us. Karen is saying hello to us.
Oh, hi, Karen.
And we got somebody on Facebook saying, "What a trooper! What a trooper you are!"
I try.
Yes. Well, I know. I mean, listen. I had, I broke a nail. So I'm a trooper too.
That could be very traumatic. But I'm glad we're doing this tonight. I missed you because the last podcast I missed also. I was. What'd you say last time? Pregnant? You were going to tell everybody I was pregnant? I was going to have to.
No, I actually did not use that. I used it that Aunt cooked dinner the night before and put you in the hospital. You just said the P word. I never brought it up.
I said, bite your tongue. We're not putting that out there. Even though I love kids. I love my kids, but no, thank you.
No. Done is done, right?
Yeah. Done is done.
Now, how many kids do you have?
I have two.
You have two. And one's Giovanni.
One's Gianni.
Oh, Gianni. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And one is Christopher. They are 4.5 and 6.5.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of work.
That is a lot of work.
I'm grateful because I'm divorced. Woohoo! So my kids get to spend half the time with mommy and then half the time with daddy. So mommy gets a little bit of a break. And I think every mom deserves a break, whether they're divorced or not. So the fact that I get that break 50% of the time is amazing.
That's good.
Honest. Yeah.
That's good. Now, how do you get along with your ex, though? I mean, when it comes to the kids, are you guys all cool in the gang, or is there?
We get along out of 0 out of 10. We get along at like an 8, right? Nobody's
that's pretty good. That's good.
So there's times where, I just want to punch him a little bit, maybe trip him, but maybe just a little trip.
Yeah.
But for
cut his brake lines, little things like that.
Yeah, smash his window a little bit,
Yeah.
But
it's turning into a Carrie Underwood song real fast.
Yeah. Oh my God. Sometimes I want to do that. But we're okay. And we're okay because we put the kids' needs before ours.
And that's what you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
How old are your kids again? You got some kids.
Oh yeah. Let me see. I got 2 beautiful kids. 3 total, but 2 of them are beautiful. Let's see. So my kids are 22, 30, and 36.
Wow.
So yeah, those are my kids. I mean, it's hard to even call them kids now, since my oldest has now had my granddaughter and just had my grandson. So now I've got 2 grandkids.
Oh,
one is coming up on 3 years old, and one is 3 years old, and the other one is 0, because he was born like 2 weeks ago, so he still doesn't get a number.
Yay! I forgot that was happening. That's so amazing. Congratulations,
yes,
Grandpa.
He was no, not Grandpa. Not Grandpa, not Pop-Up, not Poopy, not any of those funny little words people use.
What's your name gonna be?
It's Granddad.
Oh, that's like sophisticated.
Well, my father, when my kids, he was grandfather, and that's what the kids would call him. Hello, grandfather. Hi, grandfather. And it just sounds really, a little kid says it sounds so cute. But it's an old TV show, Kung Fu, where they had grandfather and different things. But anyway, so my father did that. I always liked it. but I can't be grandfather because he's grandfather, so I'm granddad.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
It's meaningful.
it's nice. It's nice.
It is nice.
I wanted them to call me God, but the kids wouldn't do that, so it didn't work.
They didn't like it.
So that was Lynn Serrano. Hey, my mom's out there saying hi, guys.
Hey, Lynn.
Sharing
Hey, Mom.
hugs. Stacy's with us, and Nicole and Scott. Happy to see you both on. All right.
Hey, Stacey.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, this is your show as much as our show. Anything you guys want us to talk about or you want to share with us, please do. Please do. But he said, she said is really all about just our different opinions on the same issues, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Get some questions rolling in. We're not going to be able to high five.
No high five this time. We could do that. We could do the camera five there.
We got to pretend.
Yeah, we're this is the COVID show. Not that you have COVID. Get better, Nicole.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Are you feeling better though? You say
I'm feeling better today. Yes. Yesterday was still miserable.
How long has this been going on?
3.5 days, almost 4 days.
So this is different from how you were feeling because 2 weeks ago we had our show. You had a stomach problem.
2 weeks ago, I, in the middle of the night, woke up with a really, really, really bad cramp in my stomach, but a debilitating one. I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't lay down, to the point where I said, take me to the emergency room to my poor fiance. And I went to the ER and I sat there for 4 hours. They did absolutely nothing. So I left.
Really? You never even saw the doctor?
I saw the doctor once. And he told me everything they were going to do. And I said, okay, great. And he never came back. And 4 hours later, I said, I can't freaking sit here anymore. I'm getting the hell out of here. Anthony thought he was funny. He said, it's probably gas. You probably just have to fart. And I said, come on, really? I mean, maybe he was right. Maybe it was gas. I don't fucking know.
That's the most horrifying part is what if he's right? How terrible would that be?
It could have been, because I did start feeling better. I don't know what happened, but I did start feeling better. But I was there all night. So I was miserable the next day.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think it's time I go see maybe like a gastro or something. There's a lot of stuff going on in my stomach.
Yeah. Well, definitely get over whatever's going on now, and then you have to think about it. But anyway, at least we're here.
Yes.
And we'll make it work for you people. Don't worry about it. We're not going to give up on you.
No, pushing through.
We're pushing through. We're pushing through. We also were told that there's a lot of He Said, She Said podcast Facebook pages out there. So if you're not hearing us right now, you're not on the right one. But we will do something to correct that so that we stand out. We'll find a way to do that within the next 2 weeks. But just keep tuning in, and we'll show you what's going on. Paul is saying, Nicole, you are addicting. You're addicting. He was right.
Who was right?
Well, I'm wondering how you're. Admitting. Okay. Paul is saying you're admitting that Ant was right.
Oh. I mean, listen, I don't remember, but Anthony thinks he's Thunder. I'm going to throw you out of this room. Anthony thinks he's always right. So, I mean, he could have been. Who's right more in your relationship, you or Anthony? Or do you think it's you both walk away feeling like you're right, just not bothering to fight about it? I don't know. You know what? I think I think you need to ask me that question again in 2 seconds. Babe! I think come here for a second. And I'll give you my answer and let's see what he says. Doing this from home, you knew he was going to have to be a part of something, right? Oh yeah. He's not getting excuse me, this dog. Come here, babe, real quick. Come say hi. Your dog's like a there we go. Come on, have a seat. Come on. Special guest appearance. Anthony, how are you, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Would you like me to ask the question again?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, you've got 3 choices. When you guys are arguing about something, you walk away one of 3 ways. You walk away where you were right, you walk away where she was right, or you walk away where you both still think you're right, you're just tired of arguing about it. Which one? I'll let you answer first, babe.
I thought there was going to be a choice of we walk away both being right.
Oh,
That's where you can't both be right, but you both think you're right. You just give up trying to convince the other person.
you better answer correctly.
Well, there's times where Nicole is right, and then there's times where I'm right, and then there's times where neither one of us are right, but we think that we're both right, and we walk away, ending it just so it doesn't lead into a bigger fight.
I like that answer.
You like that answer?
I do. I have to agree. I want to sit here and say, like, I'm always right, but I know I'm not. And once again, let's bring recovery into it. Thank God, because of recovery, like, I am aware when I fall short. And I'm
right.
Not,
but what happens? Because I know what happens with guys, and I think Anthony knows this too. There's many times I get into an argument, and within minutes or seconds, even, I know I'm wrong, but now I've started it and I've got to finish it. He's laughing because he knows I'm right.
There's identification there.
It's not even about being right or wrong anymore. It becomes like a matter of pride. I just can't say I'm wrong now. It's all
ego. That's what that is.
But do women have the same problem?
No, we are. So in my opinion, as a woman, I feel like we're a little bit more emotional. So we will admit that we're wrong once in a while if the man is open to apologizing and admitting their part as well. But from a woman's perspective.
Wait a minute. You know what you just said?
What did I say?
You just said, women, we will admit that we're wrong once the guy apologizes. If you're admitting you're wrong, why the hell does he have to apologize?
Oh, yes.
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 Because you guys play a part in it also.
Because a part in what? You're just assuming that what if it's all your fault?
Sometimes,
you know that's possible.
Sometimes it is all my fault. Yeah. Sometimes it is.
But you still want an apology from him to make you feel better. Be honest. Be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need like that soft approach. What'd Stacey say?
Stacey said it always feels good to be right.
Thank you, Stacey. And I think you would agree 90% of the time. Okay, 85% of the time, I am right. 85%.
Keep going.
No. 85%. Oh, here we go. Who's wrong?
All right.
Anthony, this is where you apologize and then everything's good.
Apologize for what?
No, don't suck.
It doesn't even matter anymore, brother. We just have to do it.
Take thunder with you. Well, that was fun.
All right. Well, that was straight from Anthony. That's good. That's good.
I got
But you know what? Do you think sometimes we get a little too obsessed with being right instead of just being kind?
I think we can, and I think it's exactly what you said before, that it's the ego that plays a part in it. And I try and live by the motto of, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? And if I do have an altercation with Anthony and I catch us both like going tit for tat and back and forth, even if I believe I'm right, sometimes I just surrender to whatever the argument is. And I tell myself, like, I'd rather just be happy. So if I have to just apologize and say, I love you, let's move on, I will. But that's growth for me, because if you asked me this question 5 years ago, I would have told you I would have never done that, ever.
Right. Well, the thing is, not every situation calls for, you're not standing in front of a time bomb. Do I cut the red wire or cut the blue wire? Because then you have to be right. There is, most other things don't even matter. And the bottom line is, whenever we put ourselves out there with the idea that I'd rather be kind than be right, we win every time.
Every single time.
Now, when you're right, you win sometimes, but when you're kind, you always win. So just putting that out there for the universe, and it's something for men and women to think about together. Let me see. Jessica says, I think so. And I definitely find myself doing that. I need to be right, even if I know I'm not. Yeah. But that's an insecurity, isn't it, Nicole? When you need somebody else to tell you that you're right because you don't believe in yourself anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's once again where the ego comes into play. So I can only speak for me, but I know when I had this big ego and I did things like that, it was because I was so insecure with who I was. So I had to put on a front to everybody. Look at me. I'm great. I'm this, I'm that, because I really wasn't, or I really was, but I didn't feel it, So absolutely. Oh, Jessica, thanks for sharing that.
This is coming from somebody, and Scott points out that you said you're right 85% of the time. It's pretty easy to be cool with things when you're right that often. When you're a guy and you're never going to hit 85%, we fight every day. All right. Spot on definition of an insecurity. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Jessica. And that's what we deal with. A lot of times the conflict we see between men and women, it's not about anything other than ego and insecurity, isn't it? Isn't that like the main thing?
Yeah. And I think that also between men and women, like I said, women think differently. We are a lot more emotional. So like we want to do the let's sit down and communicate and let's talk about it. And I feel from my experience with men, especially Anthony, that sometimes in a guy's perspective, it's easier to just not talk about it, walk away from it, like brush it off like nothing happened, instead of getting emotional and getting intimate about it. So I think that causes mayhem too between a man and a woman.
Yeah. I think guys automatically assume, because we consider ourselves more logical and less emotional, that we'd be better at argumenting, but that's not the case, because what happens is our emotions will come out and we're not adept at dealing with them. So it is more likely for a guy to go from 0 to 100 in an argument, because we're not practiced at having emotions come out like women are. I'm making generalizations. I know that's not the case for everybody. A couple people, Diana's from Rochester, New York, joining us.
Hi.
She was on last time when I was on with my ex, was on with me, Therese, and we did the show while you were sick. That last time. And
I love that.
And we're actually going to start our own show called The Exes. And because we were in a relationship for 10 years. And now we're best friends in the world. And we're just trying to demonstrate how that works to the world.
I love that.
Or even the parts that don't work. Jessica saying, yes, we are emotional. But being emotional is not I think it's always been looked upon as a weakness, and it's really not, is it?
I don't think so at all. I think that it's like a power when you can be emotional, be intimate, know your true self, be able to communicate how it is you're feeling, and get vulnerable. I look at that like such strength, and I'll share something personal, because that's what I do all the time. When Anthony and I got together, he had zero communication skills. He didn't know yet how to be vulnerable and how to be intimate and how to communicate. And in the beginning of our relationship, it was really tough, because here I was like knowing how to communicate. I've learned that already, and like trying with somebody who just wasn't there yet. So it took a lot of like patience and tolerance and practice, right? Like you're not a good communicator overnight. Like that takes practice. And like I'm grateful that I stuck it through, because I want to say, once again, this 85%, I'll give it 90 at this point. 90% of the time, like we are able to communicate now.
Okay. Excellent. Let's see. Lena's saying, happy to see you live, Nicole. It's Lena DeLuca.
Thanks.
Excellent. You've got a lot of friends on TikTok who have been asking you to be live for a while now, so this is good.
I know. I haven't made a TikTok video in 3 days. And when that happens, I get messages on my Instagram from a lot of people saying, are you okay? We haven't seen you on TikTok. Is everything okay? Which makes me feel so happy. It shows that I'm loved by a bunch of people I never even met in person. Like, how great is that?
Now, it's obviously, it's not because you don't want to show yourself as being sick. Sometimes you just don't have the energy to do it when you're feeling bad.
I had zero energy. Listen, when it comes to showing myself being sick, one thing about me is I don't really care. But the past couple of days, I have been taking care of the 6.5-year-old, catching his puke in buckets on top of me not feeling good, me sick. It's just been crappy. But here I am tonight, and I'm happy to be here. I really am.
It's amazing what you can do for your kids, the messes you can clean up. Just thinking about a little kid throwing up and cleaning that up right now makes me, but if I'm there in that moment, you do what you got to do.
Yeah. And I have another little fact about myself is I have this really weird phobia of throw up. Like, I'm talking about petrified of it, whether it's me sick, someone else sick, my kid's sick. And when he told me that night that his belly hurt, I almost went into like a panic attack. And then I guess like mommy mode kicked in and I took care of everything. And I was really, as crazy as it sounds, I was really proud of myself. Like looking back on the past 3 days and how I handled that. Like I did exactly what I had to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
a phobia of uh,
Throw up.
a vomit phobia, vomophobia.
It's a real thing. I don't remember what the word is, but I Googled it. You know how there's like, what is it? Arachnophobia? No.
Arachnophobia for spiders.
Yeah.
There's
So
triskaidekaphobia, which is the fear of the number 13. There's all sorts of phobias out there.
I didn't even know. Well, yeah. Well, there's a word for the throw up phobia. I
Mm.
Googled it. I don't remember what.
Wow.
Yeah.
There is a new fear that's called phonophobia,
What
but
is that?
it's a fear of losing cell phone signals. It's a fear of people who are constantly obsessed with making sure they have a signal. There's actually a real diagnosable fear on that now.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
there's a
gonna have to Google it.
yeah, we Google everything. Therese, and this is Therese, my ex, and I don't say that she's my ex to many people because really she's my best friend. I may be the odd woman out here, but I don't look at myself as a good communicator. However, I can admit when I'm wrong. I'll admit that with her. No, absolutely. She's not one of those that fights to be right when it's not time, but
Yeah.
she's also not one that enjoys confrontation.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain people that enjoy confrontation, and there's people that just avoid confrontation.
Yeah.
And so
I
she's
think it
always
also has to do with like your upbringing. Like I'm sure, Teresa, if you take a look at like how you were raised, was there communication in the household? You know, I know for me growing up in like an old school Italian background, we didn't I didn't learn how to communicate. We didn't talk about what we were feeling. We didn't talk about what was going on. Like I had that's something that I had to learn in my adult life. I had no idea how to communicate at all.
yeah. Well, I knew her because she was my first love when we were 14 years old.
Oh,
And then we reconnected years later.
I love
And
that.
one time I'll have to share the picture of us when we were both 14, and it
Yeah.
was pretty cool. You know, she looks like a little miniature Charlie's Angel with the hair all done, and I look like a stoned Tom Petty. You know, it's just it's just the way we. But
You're gonna
yeah,
have to
but I had run-ins with her mother, where she would throw shoes at me and things like that. So I mean, it was I was friends with her brother too. But Teresa's saying that makes a lot of sense, Nicole. That makes sense. Um, so we are conditioned by our environment, but as we grow into adulthood, some of it's our environment, but some of it's about us making choices about how we want to be, right? So you've got to. I know I was a certain way when I was a drunk, and when I was before I got sober, and then when I got sober in early sobriety, I wanted to be suave and sophisticated and have all my shit together. And then as time went on, it became more about, you know what? I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. And it's like, it's taken me a lot of years of my life to get to the point where it's not about being right. It's not about hurting people or doing anything else. It's just about being happy. Is that a journey that makes sense to you too?
Yeah. And it took me, I'm coming up on 10 years clean. I just figured that out maybe 3 years ago after my divorce, you know, and getting that divorce was a part of me just wanting to be happy and being like my true authentic self and not what everybody else wanted me to be or what I thought I needed to be. And, you know, I thought the marriage with the big house and the white picket fence and the beautiful kids, I thought that was my dream until it wasn't, you know, and now in a 2-bedroom apartment, having a divorce and, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, I'm probably the happiest I've ever been.
Yeah, it's funny how things change, priorities change, and sometimes we need to get slapped across the face with some realities for that to happen. But
Absolutely.
I hope everybody gets to that point where they realize happiness isn't found in the paycheck that you get or in your bank account or in the car that you drive. Happiness is found in the friends and the people you have in your life, and the laughter that you share with people,
Absolutely.
and the music that you listen to, and the art that you create, and the friends. It's just, that's what it's really all about. Okay, we got some comments. Emetophobia is the word for vomit phobia.
There you go. Well, I
hope-
have that. That's me.
Emetophobia. Okay, sounds good.
She's
Teresa's adding in, yes, Sir Walter Scott. There was a period in my life where I called myself Sir Walter Scott. And I was the guy, I would go into high school and I would buy all the women flowers and pass them out every day and try to be,
Aw.
I was trying to be like, I thought I was a mix between Don Juan and Shakespeare. And yeah, didn't work out too well.
Oh, you have to pull up the picture. I got to see what you look like.
This is my friend Debbie Bettendorf. She's great. She got a show on tonight. Thanks for checking us out, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
She's got a show on tonight. Starts at 8:00. It's called Find It. It's called Find It. And it's about finding your higher purpose, finding yourself, finding those things in your life that are holding you back and getting rid of them, and finding things that you're missing and grabbing onto them. And she's fantastic. She is fantastic. Let's see. Jessica says, money doesn't buy happiness. No.
Amen.
No, but a lot of happy people hang out with you if you have money, but it doesn't. I mean,
a lot of people want to be your friend.
I'm not saying you have to be poor to be happy. That's not what we're saying, because I would like to have more. I know you'd like to have more.
Of course.
But at the end I know that's not my answer, right?
Yeah. Yes. And it's not going to. So another thing about money is I thought it was going to fill the void that I had in me.
Yes.
Nicole, good job for being yourself. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I thought money was going to fill the void. And I don't know if that's a thing with just addicts in recovery or just people in general. And, like I said, I had that big, beautiful house. I had the nice Range Rover. I had the expensive pocketbook. And for a while, I thought I was happy. I had a bunch of things that I didn't have growing up. So I was like, oh, this is great. And then one day it just hit me. None of that mattered anymore. I was unhappy and I had to do something. I couldn't settle and I had to do something to change that.
The expensive pocketbook. I assume that's not Coach. We're talking Louis Vuitton.
Not Coach. It's Louis Vuitton. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Coach is like 20 years ago, Scott.
It's first of all, the whole concept of spending money on a pocketbook is ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous to all men. If you guys carried a canvas bag, walked around in Daisy Duke shorts and tight t-shirts, we'd be happy. I'm kidding.
I'm sure you guys would be.
No, I'm sorry. I went the wrong way with that one. No, I'm just saying that the idea of why I can't tell the difference between a bag that was made for $20 and a bag that was made for $2,000. And it's not like they've got big, huge diamonds on them. That would be one thing, but it's just because it's got that little thing right there, that little tag, that little piece of, it's bullshit saying you have to spend more for me because I've got this little LV on here.
Mm-hmm.
So why? Why do we need to have those things?
So it made, in that moment when I was buying that bag, it made me feel good. And that's when the ex-husband bought it for me, right? But now fast forward, I recently bought myself a Gucci bag and it was pretty pricey. But the really cool thing about buying that bag that I wanted is that I bought it. So it built my self-esteem. It built my independence, right? Like I'm able to wear that bag and not care if other people know it's a Gucci bag, but tell myself like, yes, bitch, you fucking bought this,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a sense of accomplishment. I wanted something. I wanted to treat myself and I did it. I didn't have a man do it for me, or I didn't have somebody else do it for me. I'm not kept by anybody. I am my own. Yeah, I get that.
So when I buy expensive stuff today, it's to show myself like you're doing a good job. But in the past, I wanted that expensive bag. So everybody looked at me like, hey, look at her. She's cool. She has that $2,000 pocketbook.
I got it. But I get it, but I don't get it, because I'm thinking like, I don't think guys spend, a lot of money on their wallets, because it goes in your pocket.
It
Do
depends, but it depends what guy you're asking.
I would rather have something to put in it than to actually spend money on
The
it.
people that so the men that I know that are spending the money on those nice wallets, they have a lot to put in it. You know what
But
I
I
mean?
don't. I'm not a guy who thinks fancy cars are important either, though. I mean, the truth is, I'd rather drive a Prius these days
Really?
than a Porsche
Oh yeah.
because it just doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, I used to have the cars and I had the turbo and I had my motorcycles. I always had the biggest motorcycles. They had to be the best motorcycles. And now it's like, you know what? I, I really don't care about that stuff. It's stuff that weighs me down. If I'm working to pay for something, it weighs me down. If
Yes.
I'm working to fulfill myself and to put a little bit of money in the bank so I can go see my daughter next in 3 weeks and I could go do this and go do that, that's a much better situation for me. But to work so that I can make a payment to a bank, that's not happiness for me. And I just don't reconcile that. It doesn't mean that I'm like Gandhi and I'll sit there and with no clothes and be happy. That's not what I'm saying.
No, but what I hear from you is humble. That's the word that comes to me when I hear you talking about this. You've gotten to a place in your life where there's some humility, where you don't need those fancy things to, I guess, know who you are or to show off that you can drive in a Prius and be happy as a pig in shit. You know?
Yeah.
To me, that's humbling.
It's just, I know who I am. And if you want to know who I am, get to know me. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
Don't look at what I'm wearing. Don't look at what the purse. Don't look at the car. Don't look at talk to me if you want to get to know me and you'll learn about me. And if you don't, that's okay too. That's okay too. But I don't want to attract somebody to me because I got more bling than them.
Of what you're wearing. Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree with that. That I agree with.
Let's show some comments here. We got Jessica saying, we all want more, and having rich friends is nice, but I'd rather be broke and happy and have an amazing family and friends around than to be rich and miserable in a relationship. Abso-freaking-lutely. Well said. Debbie sharing, it's like the person with a pool and a big truck, everybody's best friend.
Yeah.
Teresa is agreeing.
Oh, my mom. Hi, Mom.
Oh, this is your mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Okay, Debbie saying, hey, now enough with the purses. Apparently, she is one of those.
Yes, Debbie.
The purse people. We don't dress for men. We dress for the woman. The woman that you are, I hope,
Well, it all depends on which woman you're asking.
I mean, when you get dressed and you're going out places, let's ask this. When you look in the mirror, are you looking at and trying to figure out how other people are going to see you, or are you deciding how you look to you?
The me today looks at myself in the mirror and makes sure that I look good enough for myself, that I like what I see looking back in the mirror. The me 5-10 years ago had to dress to where I knew I was going to get the attention of others to validate myself, to feel better about myself. 100%.
Absolutely. And I've been guilty of the same thing and trying to wear clothes that or jewelry or something that would make people think of me in a certain way.
Yeah.
And now it's much more when I look in the mirror, I'm like, does how I'm dressed today match how I feel and who I am today?
Yeah. Well, that's why, I'm able to get on this podcast today looking how I do. Now, I don't think I'm the ugliest person, here tonight. Like, I don't think I'm look that terrible, but.
No, because you already had Anthony next to you, so you're fine.
I feed him. We're good. I brought him on and you go, babe. But 5 years ago, if we were doing this and I was sick and I had no makeup on and my hair wasn't done and I was in a t-shirt and sweatpants, you would not catch me on this live because I would be so afraid of what anybody logged in and thought how I looked. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. It makes total sense. And now I might wear a shirt today that next week I go to put on. I'm like, it doesn't feel right today. And it's not even about what other people think or anything. Now I have to be more careful because I've gone to the other side of things where it's like, you know what? Hey, you're doing a presentation today. You got to dress a little nicer than how you feel like dressing. And sometimes you have to do that. But let's see. Nicole is sharing that I feel the same way for a long time about it. Like, how can you spend a lot on a purse, but when I was able to finally buy one on my own, it made me feel powerful and I deserved it. Very good.
I identify. Me too, Nicole.
Very good. Teresa is agreeing. Your mom is agreeing, saying that's very true. Mary Kay is tuning in. My husband does. He has a. Nicole's husband has a Gucci wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my mom has reminded me to think about motorcycles. I used to have the best and the biggest motorcycles. My motorcycle had an 1800cc engine. The reason I bought it is because it was the biggest engine they put in a bike. I fell in love with the bike eventually because I mounted buffalo horns on it and it was covered in fur on the front of it. It looked like a big white buffalo coming at you. But no, it was my weirdness. But okay, let's see. Mary Kay, don't guys like expensive golf clubs? I used to until I realized I shot the same shitty game with the expensive clubs that I did with the cheap clubs. So now I got clubs that are somewhere in the middle. So if it helps the game, good, but I know it's not going to help enough.
There you go.
See, now this is where when your ex joins in and she shares I do have a watch thing where I do collect watches, but these are Invictas, and Invictas go from anywhere from $100 to $400, but I always buy them on sale. So I never spend more than like 150.
Which isn't so bad. That's not bad.
It's not bad. And I just love the way they look, and they're big and they do get attention, but they're kind of big and clunky, kind of like me. I'm kind of big and clunky. So let's see. Some guys have expensive money clips.
Yeah. Listen, there's guys out there that, just like night. Listen, if you come to my job, you're going to see a couple of men who like nice things.
I know who you're talking about too. And it's fine and it works for them.
Yeah. There are just some, but I guess I get both sides of it when, like I said, which Nicole identified with, as a person, as myself, when I can buy it for myself, it just feels really good.
But the question is, why are you buying it? Are you buying it for you? Or are you buying it for others to see you a certain way? And that's the trap we keep falling into. I think all of us fall into it. TV commercials and everything is telling us you have to fit this mold or have these things to fit in.
Yeah.
So we got to be careful of that, right?
A certain way, you have to act a certain way. I don't go by any of that anymore.
Mary Kay says, I want a Harley, but that will be my treat to me. See, so you bought a purse and she's going to buy a Harley.
There you go.
Mary Kay, my kind of woman. All right. Let's see. Stacy says, I look like this. Let me see. I look at it like this. I work hard. If I can buy nice things and still have money in my bank, I'm happy. Yes, of course.
Me too.
You don't want to go overboard. Nicole, what's your background? Mine is Greek.
Cypriot.
What the hell is Cypriot?
From Cyprus.
Oh.
So
just say Cyprus. Don't get all smart ass on it. So I saw your mom's last name sounds Greek. So you are Greek.
Yes. And my father is actually born and raised in Cyprus. So I'm half Greek and half Italian, Mary Kay.
Wow. You must make the best salads on the planet.
Oh my God. My salads are great.
Being half Greek and half Italian. Those are the two best salads.
I make the best. It's probably the best thing I can make. I think Anthony will agree with that too. Cooking is not my niche.
Lena saying you're a beautiful woman, Nicole.
Thanks, Lena. How are you?
Bruce Davis, greetings, South Florida watching. Hey,
South
Bruce,
Florida, right back at you.
I'm in South Florida too, so we're both in South Florida. Forza Italia. So I guess she's from Italy.
Okay, because I don't know what that means.
We're just going to go with that. I think you're saying you're from Italy. Don't know. Hey, we don't have to be right. We're just going to be kind.
Want to be happy, not right. But I think that's.
I don't have that. I've got this European mutt in my family that we have a little bit
background.
It's a little bit of everything. There's a huge portion because of my dad's side of the family where his parents came from Wales. So there's a big part of me that's Welsh. But then the rest of it is a little French, a little English, a little German, a little Dutch, so just anybody with white skin and blonde hair, that's where I came from. Anybody over there. And, just my grandfather did trace us back to Henry VIII. So our family does trace back in the lineage, but apparently it was Henry VIII had, it was Henry VIII, I think it was Henry VIII, had sex with a hooker, and our family line was there. So we're actually true royal bastards.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Okay. Okay, wait a minute. She's saying I'm from Canada.
Huh.
Now, wait a minute. She says Forza Italia, and then says I'm from Canada. Lena, you've confused the hell out of both of us. Could you please
Now,
clarify?
Are you an Italian Canadian?
Do they have Italian Canadians? Are they allowed to?
I have no idea.
I think it's only French Canadians. I think French the wee wee.
Oui. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Canada. That's bad.
You ever been to Canada?
Yeah, once, but like for 5 minutes. Literally, I got off a cruise ship in Canada and then got on another cruise ship. And so I was there for maybe an hour.
Oh, I'm being corrected by my mother. It was Queen Elizabeth, a concubine. Okay.
Not
That's
Henry.
right. I have no idea. All I know is that we're royal bastards. Yeah. So, you know what I love about Canada? I've gone there a couple times. It is the cleanest place. They are so. You go into Montreal, you can eat off the streets.
I heard Montreal is beautiful.
It really is. It really is. I was younger there when I was there, and I was walking around. I put a cigarette out in the street. I had like 6 people walk up and stop me and say, "Go pick that up."
Wow.
I think that's what they said. It was Canadians. I don't know. All right, you guys are killing me. I'm Italian Canadian from Montreal, Quebec.
See?
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Was that hard, Lena? You got to throw us all these different.
Wait, I like being right.
You are right. You are right. And I'm wrong, and I'll go with that. I think it means cheering for Italy. Yeah, that's what she was doing. Italian Canadians. And yes, come to Canada. Yeah, Mary Kay's up in Canada.
I know. Maybe we'll take a trip.
Yeah, it was a lot easier when I lived in New York to go to Canada. It was like, 3-4 hours in the car. I'm in Canada. Now it's like it's a 2-day trip for us to get up there. I mean, that's ridiculous.
We're not in New York anymore.
We're like at the ass end of the United States. We can't go any further south without having to learn a new language.
I know. We're very close to the Bahamas, though.
Which are beautiful.
That's nice.
Let me see. Toronto is beautiful too. Yes, I've heard Toronto is beautiful. I have not been there. But yeah, do you guys celebrate your heritage and your family? Do your Greek heritage and your Italian heritage?
We used to. So we used to celebrate like Greek Easter and my yaya, which is grandma in Greek. We used to go to her house and cook Greek food.
Wait. Yaya?
Yaya. And then grandfather in Greek is papu.
Pa what? Is a snort necessary in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's papu.
Papu? I thought that was that little guy from Fantasy Island. Hello, Papu. They playing, boss.
Yaya and papu. Yeah.
Yaya and Papu. I love it. So they had to bring a lot of good culture to your family.
Yes. And then it died down when they passed away. And it's really cool, actually. Anthony's stepmom is Greek. So when we moved here to Florida last year and this year, we were able to celebrate Greek Easter again. So it feels cool that I used to do it and then it kind of stopped. And now here I am again in this new relationship, marrying into this family that has similarities to my family.
He's Italian, I would assume. He's Anthony, right?
Wait, babe, what do I call you? I say that he's German and Italian, but he's not. He's 75% Italian and 25% Polish.
Oh, wow.
Did I get that right?
But raised
very Italian.
Raised very Italian. Okay.
I'm lying. Raised Italian and Greek.
Yeah.
Okay, my mother has to remind everybody that at 16, I stole her car and drove it to Canada. That is a lie. Thanks
for sharing that, Mom. I love that story. Yes, he's flicking cigarettes out the window.
I was 15.
Oh.
I did do that, but I was 15, not quite.
Why were you going to Canada?
I was bored. We were living in Syracuse, New York. I had a bunch of friends. We said we want to do something. Let's go to Canada.
Oh, okay.
And back in those days, you can cross a border. They're like, why are you going to Canada? And we, the answer was, we want to see Canada. They're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Now they got they got a blood test and they got to run you through a computer and, poke and prod you and, body cavity searches and everything. Maybe that's just me. He said, she said tour. We should do it. We should do a tour. We're going to do shows around the country.
Blow up. We'll go all around the country and do he said, she said.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Here we go. Nona and no.
Nonna and nonnu.
Huh? What?
So in Italian, grandma and grandpa. You didn't know this?
Nana and no.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Thank you. Nana and no. It's perfect because that's half what you say to a kid anyway. Hey, no. No, and the kid goes off looking for grandpa. Okay. All right. So how do you say it?
Nonna.
I'm trying to follow you. This is why. Hey, listen, I took 4 years of French. I can count to 10 and ask where the bathroom is. I'm terrible at this stuff.
That's it. You have to be. How do you ask where the bathroom is?
Où est WC?
Oh. Où est WC?
Yes, it's where's the water closet? Où est WC?
That's what they call a bathroom?
Well, that's one word for a bathroom.
Oh.
Yeah. That's about all I got. All right, but now I know Italian too. So nonna and no. Okay, let me see. My family celebrates everything. This is Mary Kay celebrates everything Greek or Canadian or whatever excuse to eat a lot of food. All right, hey, any excuse to eat a lot.
I like that. I like eating.
See, but Mary Kay, you miss out because you missed the greatest eating day of the year, which is what?
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yes.
They can't do that in Canada.
They don't have Thanksgiving in Canada?
They shouldn't.
Why?
I don't know. I thought it was an American thing.
I don't know. I'm bad with social studies, but
of course they're part of North America, so I guess they could.
Thanksgiving is wait. What's your favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving is my favorite.
Mine too.
Just because it's about people getting together. You don't buy gifts. You're not out stressing. All you want to do is have people come over, break bread, talk, watch football, fall asleep, hand in the pants in your lazy boy chair. That's my Welsh tradition.
I like it because I like to eat.
Yeah.
And Thanksgiving dinner is probably my favorite meal that I have once a year, and I get super excited. And it's another day that, you go around the table and say what you're thankful for.
See, no, I love the cooking part. That's me, because I always try to host it at my house whenever I can, because that way I could cook the turkey. Because every year I'll do something a little bit different, and I'll cook the turkey. And I love cooking like oyster stuffing, not just regular stuffing, but stuffing with oysters in it and stuff. I love cooking. The problem is Thanksgiving, the tradition is this: you cook for 6.5 hours. Everybody sits down. In 20 minutes, they're all full.
Yes. And then they're sleeping on the couch from whatever.
Then and everybody says it's because there's tryptophan in the turkey.
Yeah,
it's not true.
No.
Tryptophan is in the serotonin pathway and the melatonin pathway in your brain, but there's not enough in turkey to make you fall asleep because you have a piece of turkey breast. The reason you're falling asleep is because you just ate 4.5 pounds of mashed potatoes.
Listen, I like blaming it on the tryptophan.
Yes.
Not that. Yeah,
let's just assume if it really knocked you out that much, just how do turkeys walk around? They'd be like, oh, look, they'd be out, Okay, Tammy's joining in. My friend Tammy said, just tuned in. First thing I hear is body cavity search. Yeah, be careful where you come in during our show, because you never know what we're going to be talking about.
You never know. It's he said, she said, literally.
That's about right.
Everything.
And this will not be the first or the last time you'll hear body cavity search on this show. All right, let's see. Want to know how to say it French? How to say what French? How to say what? Oh, yeah. Grandma and grandpa.
Is it?
No, I mean, how do we say it?
Oh, I don't know.
No, I had the German for my great-grandparents, which was Gross Mama, Gross Papa.
No way.
Yeah. Gross Mama and Gross Papa.
That's
They're old. Old people are gross anyway. So that's kind of, it makes sense, right?
Terrible name.
It's just not terrible. When you're a little kid, you're not thinking about like gross, like, oh, grandma just hocked up a loogie. No, you're thinking about
Gross.
just, it's gross mama. It's the German way to say it.
Oh
But
my-
yes, Lena, go figure out the French way to say grandparents, and we'll come back. Tammy's hooked on our show. Thank you, Tammy.
Thanks, Tammy. Welcome.
Tammy is the bestest, let me tell you. Salle de bain is bathroom in French. So, okay, Lena just knows everything. Okay, yes, we do have it. Okay, they do have Thanksgiving in Canada.
Huh.
Okay, they have Christmas.
Christmas is Nicole's favorite holiday.
They have Canada. Oh, Halloween. Halloween's my favorite, my second favorite.
Halloween.
I love Halloween. Do you guys celebrate?
Yeah. Yeah. I like what I do with my kids is we do kind of like theme costumes. So this year they were wolves and I wanted to be like the Little Red Riding Hood. I like doing corny stuff like that.
So you can run around being terrorized by your kids. That'll be different, huh?
Yeah, it's fun. Listen, it's better than what I used to do. I remember when I was a kid on Halloween, we used to do, what is that? Not sour cream, shaving cream, sour cream, shaving cream and throwing eggs. Did you do that as a kid?
No, not really. I was out stealing other kids' candy. I wasn't going to terrorize putting toilet paper like around the house. That's you walk home and you're out a roll of toilet paper. You're out your shaving cream. But if you steal from people, you go home with their stuff. See, I'm always thinking.
That's how I should have known I was an addict before the drugs came into play. They used to leave the bowl of candy and it would say, take one piece per child. And I would read that and my mom would say, Nicole, only one. And when she wasn't looking, I used to take handfuls of that candy.
Yeah. How could you put a bowl of candy out there, say take one and expect kids to do that? That doesn't even make sense.
No, but I think when my kids went up during Halloween and I said, baby, just take one. Not Gianni, so I might be fucked, but Christopher just took one.
Yeah. But I love Halloween. I decorate that whole house outside. I set up my DJ equipment in my carport with the lights and the fog machines and everything. So we have like a discotheque in the driveway. One year we did Grease, and Teresa and I dressed up like Sandy and whatever the guy's name was. And Danny and Sandy, and we dressed just like them, and we had the whole carport look like a 50s diner. And then on the other side of the house, I was projecting the movie so kids could sit and watch the movie.
Oh my God.
And people were dancing, and every year people come and dance in the yard. And I get anywhere from 200 to 400 people coming each time, and families come and they dance and hang out and take pictures. I just love it.
For Halloween this year.
Yeah, you need to.
I'll be there.
Okay, Canadian Thanksgiving is in October, so they're getting that wrong. October 10th. All right. Nicole, what do your boys call your parents?
So it's actually kind of funny.
Funnier than No and Nana?
Yeah.
What?
So they do call my dad by the Greek traditional grandfather. They call him Papu. But when it came to my mom, I was going to let them pick, and they came up with the name Mima.
Mima.
My oldest started saying it one day, and I said, you know what? Let's keep it. He named her, that it's stuck, and my mom is Mima and my dad is Papu.
Now that's something, it was on Big Bang Theory. He had his Mima was his grandmother, Sheldon, the character. So apparently that's been around for a while. I don't know where it came from, but
I don't know where it came from either.
Mima. All right. Well, I guess, I think Teresa's grandkids call her TT. But I'm not sure. My mother's throwing in Big Mama, Big Papa. Oh yeah, boy, yeah. It's from our biker family, Big Mama and Big Papa. We sound like a crime syndicate.
What did your kids call your mom?
Grandma.
Okay.
grandma or Grandma Sandy. It depends because we had my stepmother and then my mom, so we had Grandma D and Grandma Sandy. So they both had their own little distinctions there. But we stuck usually traditionally to the grandma, but with the great grandparents, it was Gross Papa. My grandmother was called Nana. Nana, Nana. She wrote
Na
it twice.
na na
Nana, 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 Nana.
na.
It's like Mork from Mork. Nanu, Nanu. Nana, Nana, Nana,
Interesting
Nana,
space.
Nana, Nana. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
Goodbye. All right. Grand. Oh my. Whoa.
Mama mom.
Grandma, ma'am. My man. Grandma, my man. Grandma, my man. Yeah, that's what it is. Grandma, my man. And grandpapa. Grandpapa is French. She speaks 3 languages. Okay.
Interesting.
I speak 2 languages, good English and bad English. All right. My boys called my mother-in-law Mimi. Mimi, I've heard that before.
That's cute.
So what is the grandfather? Pee-pee? I just trying to make sense of it. Tammy, her kids call her mom Mima. Mima. Or I think it's Mima. Mima. So we've got that. Mima is so cute. People are liking the Mima thing. My grandkids are going to call me Auntie. Oh,
I like that one, Mary.
she's trying to avoid being old enough to be a grandmother.
I like that one.
Are you a grandmother? No, I'm an auntie.
They can call you a gilf.
A guilt. That's right.
Why not?
Grandmoms, I like to feel. I'm being nice.
There you
go. We do grandma and pop-up. I've heard
Aw.
pop-up and mom a lot. I
My
heard that a
kid-
lot in Jersey.
My kids call my ex-in-laws Nonna and Pop-Pop.
Yeah. I need a name that has some authority behind it, and I don't think pop-up has authority.
Pop-Pop.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my pop-up got really mad at me. It just doesn't sound right. But if they granddad is after me, that's serious.
What about gross dad?
Papa?
Gross Papa.
Gross.
Gross Papa.
Yeah, I know. But they were the cutest little people. They looked like hobbits. They were short. They were like really small. It was so cool. I think they actually lived in a hole in the ground too. Okay, Nana. Yes, Nana. Nana. That's what she's saying. Yes, Nana.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Gross Papa is big. Oh, Gross Papa means Big Papa. It's Big Papa. So that's my mother's tuning in to explain why I was so messed up as a child. Let me see. My niece and nephew called my mother-in-law's ma'ams. Ma'ams? It's my ma'am.
My ma'am.
My ma'am. Scott, you can be Poobah, as in Grand Poobah. Oh, yes. Yes, I just need my raccoon hat, and I'll show up at the lodge, and I'll be the Grand Poobah. I think. See, now you still got a ways to go, Nicole, before you have to deal with this.
Oh, thank God.
But it's something to think about. It's like, do you want, I know when Teresa and I were dealing with it, I was like, I need a very serious name. And Teresa's like, I want something that's cute when they say it and something that's fun. And so she was going to be Mimi or TT or whatever they came up with. And I think they ended up with TT for her. But for me, it's got to be the more formal thing. So which way?
Want a cute one.
You're going to want to go to cute.
Yeah.
Good. You could do the no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and Anthony could be no. He's
no,
already no.
Excuse you, Thunder.
Can you believe we've just blown through an hour?
I can.
How are you feeling right now? Does laughter really,
Happy.
Is it the best medicine?
Happy.
That's good.
Yes. I'm so glad that I joined in tonight, even though I was not feeling well. I'm so glad that when I literally, just so you guys know, I gave Scott 2 options. I said I can join in on my phone or we can push it and I can do in person next week. And I am so happy you said, let's just do it on the phone.
No, because the truth is we've got everything we need right here. I mean,
It's
it's we
perfect.
don't we can't do our high fives, there we go. But this is just
Why?
as good because this also invites people into our houses and stuff. And the funny thing is my house looks a whole lot like the studio
It does. That's great.
because I designed both places. So there you go. Um,
No, it's great. And it's great that we are able to do this because sometimes shit happens, and
yeah,
we're still able to do this and show up and be accountable and have fun in our homes.
listen, we're both very busy, and the truth is, at the end of the day, Nicole and I both have the commitments that if somebody who's in trouble calls, we have to be there. So there are times when we have to put aside the things that we want to do what we need to do, what's right, and eventually it is what we want to do anyway. But we'll always make the attempt, folks. We'll always find a way. She could be up in Canada right now with all the mooses and the Canadian Thanksgivings and doing all of that, and we could still be doing this show.
Absolutely.
So let's we got some final thoughts. Feel better, Nicole. Fun show tonight.
It was fun. Tonight was fun.
Love listening to you guys. Hope it's not the last one.
Not the last one. And the next one, God willing, me and Scott will be together for our high fives.
Why would this be the last one? I feel like we just got Lena
Started.
DeLuca. It sounds like we just got a threat from the mob. Lena DeLuca says, I hope it's not the last time I see you. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to have to review some of this shit you guys were talking about. We're going to have to figure this out. Okay.
It's not going to be the last time, Lena.
Stacy says it was a great hour.
Oh,
Yeah. Let me check the old calendar here and let people know that we will be back together with you on June 1st.
ooh.
Is that correct? Today's the 18th, the 25th. Yes, June 1st. So 2 weeks from tonight, we will
Yep.
be back with you. And hopefully we'll be in the studio. But you know what? We make it work no matter where we are because that's
Yeah.
what we do.
So mark it in your calendars, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts there, Nicole?
Well, let's just wrap it up with, you did mention what we do for a living. I want to
Yes,
put
please.
it out there at the end that if you know somebody that is struggling, or if you yourself is struggling, a lot of you guys know that I work for a behavioral health facility called Legacy that deals with substance abuse and mental health. So please feel free to reach out if you know somebody or yourself needs that help. And Scott is going to tell you also what he does, because like he said, a big part of our jobs is working with teams to save lives. And I feel like we can come on this podcast. We can have fun. We can talk about everything and anything, like nonas and gross dads, and have fun. gross pops, gross grandpas, whatever. I'll get it right one day. I can't. But at the end of the day, what we do for a living is very serious. And I think no matter who logs into this podcast, it should be known. So Scott, what
Absolutely.
is the ATC network? Like who are you?
Again, Addiction Training Center is ATC, and that's a company that Karen and I started a while back. And it's our way of dealing with, like Nicole, we worked in the industry, helping people directly, and we decided that we need to be out there training more people to help other people. Instead of just having a limited number of us, we wanted to expand that. So we train people how to help the people with addictions in intervention, in communication, in brain chemistry. We have trainings for all those things. If you want to know more about it, atceducation.com, and please, legacyhealing.com. Check them out. Get the information. If you have somebody who needs to go to treatment or that needs help, don't just look at the pretty pictures on the website. Take a look, read the information, then make a phone call and talk to somebody there and make sure that you feel good about that place. That's why we love being supported by Legacy, because we know it is one of those good places, right?
Absolutely.
So again, we want to thank ATC. We want to thank Legacy for supporting us. And we want to thank you guys for joining us, spending part of your Wednesday night with us, because that means everything to us.
Absolutely.
And let me see. So last thought is just posted, Nicole. Please, Facebook again. Next. Okay. 15 years sober and proud of myself. Lena is 15 years sober. That is fantastic.
And yes, it will get posted on Facebook again, just like I did today.
Yes, and we'll probably do it a day ahead of time. I ran into some issues yesterday. I left my phone in somebody else's car and they dropped me off at work. And then I thought, well, I'll just go inside and call them. Well, I couldn't because they had my phone in their car. And so I went the whole day yesterday without a phone. It was the worst day of my life.
You have that phobia.
I got the phonophobia.
You got a phonophobia. I don't know what I've done.
All right. Well, listen, Mima, Peepaw, Pop-Pop, and Poopy, and all the other people out there, thanks for joining us.
Yes.
I want to wish everybody happiness. Remember, be kind, stop being right, start being kind, and your world will get a whole lot better real fast.
Absolutely.
For now, I'm Scott Jones.
And I'm Nicole.
We love you all. We'll catch you next time right here on He Said, She Said.
Bye, guys.